Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again. Really sorry that it's late and my voice is getting a bit cracky. I'm getting a cough, seasonal. So this is going to be the second time I've recorded this and possibly the 6th time to try and upload it. It's my reaction video, as you've seen by the title, regarding Jo Koy hosting the Golden Globe Awards this year. I've had so many issues with YouTube regarding my videos because despite me showing on my videos that I'm not claiming any credit to clips that I've used in my videos and linking the links to the videos that I've used in my YouTube video, despite me doing that, they have still blocked me and basically made my life hell trying to upload this. So this is my last attempt. In my previous video I put the YouTube clips in and also the recent one of Jo Koy with his opening monologue. Now the recurring factor in this blocking or copyright is Jo Koy's opening monologue clip. So for this reason I am not going to invert that clip. However, I will link in the bio below in the description the clip that I'm referring to, which is one that's probably seen by everyone by now, his opening monologue. But like I said, if you want to see the particular part or whatever that I'm looking at, I will link it down below. So I'm praying that this one works because, like a fool with my editing system that I have, when I uploaded the video I then deleted everything that I'd saved on my phone. Clips, parts of me that I'm recording speaking, photos, facts. So this is literally everything from scratch again. So I don't know how I feel about that because I really felt like I did a good job in my first vlog, the one that just wouldn't upload. But yeah, what can you do? Everything's getting stricter these days. So if this one doesn't work out, I'm really just gonna, cry. So I'm going to try and remember the way in which I did the previous one. But obviously I haven't practiced the other one. I just facts down, ready to talk, because sometimes I find practicing stuff is just a bit blah. So yeah, it was supposed to be my first natural reaction. So this is going to be my first natural reaction / very angry that I haven't been able to upload this video. So if you are watching this video, please do give it a like and do subscribe because I've worked so hard to sort this video out. And I've not given up on it because, as I mentioned in my previous video of this same content, this video means a lot to me. So we're going to pretend that I haven't done this before and we're going to start again from fresh. So hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again. So this is obviously, as you can read the title, my reaction vlog to Jo Koy's hosting the Golden Globe Awards this year. You may be wondering why a random English girl from the UK would be reacting to something like this. Basically, it's something close to my heart because I am married to a Filipino and obviously I have Filipino in-laws and my children are therefore mixed race with a Filipino background. So it means a lot to me because Jo Koy is the first Filipino descendant or Filipino blood that is representing the Filipino world and is hosting the Golden Globe Awards. He's the first person to host it of Filipino background. That's what I should have said. So from myself seeing how Filipinos are and their culture, I know it would be something that they would be very proud of, that a fellow Kabayan is representing them in this way, in something so global, something so seen by worldwide, recognised by a lot of people. So yeah, it's a good career thing. Career, what do I call it? A career step. So something they should be proud of, rightly so. This is also close to me because I know Jo Koy's work, his stand-up comedy. I think I came across it one day in my feeds on my Facebook, and he just had me in stitches, mainly because I can relate to his jokes, obviously having Filipino culture in my marriage, in my life, so I can really laugh with his jokes. Basically, you could say that in England, my English comedian is Lee Evans, obviously, looking at my reels, and my Filipino one is Jo Koy. I know there's other people like Vanya Skander, and yeah, but Jo Koy is my, number one go-to. So, yeah. I just want to, before we get into the nitty-gritty of Jo Koy's monologue, I want to give you a bit of a history regarding the Golden Globe Awards, and I won't try not to take too long. Hopefully it won't be too long, but it's just to give you a bit of a reasoning why I'm saying in my title, was Jo Koy set up? Now that might sound really negative and nasty, not something nice to say, but it's something that I'm truly asking myself right now. So I'm going to try and invert the pictures, that all the evidence I found online within these clips. If you have watched the Golden Globe Awards, you will notice a consistency, a trend, if you like. Without sounding too negative, you will notice that the majority of hosts have been of white American or American English or English background. Might be Irish, but they're still white. And often people have commented that the Golden Globe Awards, or the nominees, the actors and actresses, are whitewashed, because it is quite hard, and has been very hard, is very hard in the past 10 years for a black actor or an actor of any other background to get a job as an actress or actor. And although people don't want to admit it, that is mainly because of prejudice. You know, again, without sounding disrespectful, since history, white people have been prejudiced. I don't like to say it because I'm white and I don't believe in that. You know, I don't see that. I see diversity. But the Golden Globe Awards have not been known to be diverse. I can tell you that now. So if you go back to the first ever black actor, comedian hosts, I believe they were Jared Carmichael, Sean Robinson, and Louis Gossett in 1992, or within that year frame. They were all nominees and awardees of Emmys and Primetime Watch, awards, things like that. Stuttering now. And since then, there has been mainly white people or white celebrities hosting. Now, again, I'm going to show this up on the screen for you. If you actually did look online to the list of the hosts of Golden Globe Awards, even years where there have been hosts of different backgrounds or different ethnics, races, whatever, they have not necessarily been listed or named. It usually just says none, or there's a blank space. I don't know why, but that's the case. Something I wanted to look into, but I wouldn't know how to start, how or where to start. Some people that have been hosts that we know very well, again, comedians and I think and actors, are Chris Rock and Kevin Hart. Chris Rock and Kevin Hart are both Emmy Award winners, Academy Award winners, BET Award winners and Teen Choice Award winners, among many other awards, rightly so deserved. And they have hosted a few times. I think Chris Rock on 2 occasions, and I think Kevin Hart on 3. Yeah, hopefully I'm right. And they have both refused since then not to host anymore because the crowd is very tough. Chris Rock once said that he did not want to host anymore because since the incident with Will Smith, which I will not go into, he felt like, I don't know if it's trauma for him or not, I might be wrong, but he said it's like return to the scene of the crime if he was to do that again, which, respectful to him. He's hosted, he's done his bit, why not? You know, good for him. Kevin Hart has hosted, but there was a bit of conspiracy about some homophobic comments he made as a stand-up comedian about his own son, so they weren't too keen on hiring him again. But he made it clear he will not host anyway because the crowd is tough and they don't understand the jokes. Again, he's a comedian. You know, if you hear the jokes he says about his family, he's kind of jokingly insulting his family. But the thing with comedians is, you, as a comedian yourself, you have to know your boundaries. But at the same time, people cannot take life too seriously. Now, I'm not saying that we should all giggle at offending things or offensive things, whichever, but I am saying comedy is a hidden gem. Comedians are hidden gems that allow us to have a laugh about something that is sometimes serious, but it's like saying it's okay to laugh, but inside we know that it's morally wrong, if that makes sense. Like, we can giggle about it, but deep down we know, obviously, that it's not right. I don't know if I can make that any more clearer. Like, kind of, if someone was talking about your best friend and you giggled, but you deep down you know it's not right. Something like that. You know, it's not really doing any harm once you leave the room, but in that moment you are having a bit of a chatter about it. Anyway, there are far more less insulting even comedians in the world. You know, people that do step over lines, but sometimes they're actually praised for it, such as comedian Matt Rife. He's currently in the US, I think, or maybe Canada, I'm not sure. And he used to post his stand-up comedy through TikTok. And some of his jokes are quite over the line and laughed at by their crowds, by his crowd, shall I say. One particular one that I would mention among them, many that I could but I won't because I don't want anyone to be offended or upset. But he did mention how he made a joke about people being in wheelchairs, basically. Can't remember exactly what it was, but later on somebody did approach him who was in a wheelchair. Now you're thinking, oh, they're going to have a go at him for mocking them and, you know, this is not how I want my life and I'm uncomfortable in this, rightly so. You didn't choose to be like that, nobody, you know. I think anybody in a wheelchair has their struggles, they have their strengths, but anyway. Point is, she actually turned around and said thank you for including us because people think that because we're like this, they cannot joke. Take that how you want. An adverse effect to what you might think, but it was there. So, leading on to getting closer to the awards. If you were not aware, there was a actors' strike last year, mainly screenwriters' strike, but many actors and actresses supported the strike. This strike was done by members of the SAG-AFTRA, aka I think it was Screen Act. Screen Actors Guild. Actors, I think it's actors for television and radio artists. I might edit it later if I've got it wrong, probably have. And basically the strike was about screenwriters, fairness, basically equality in pay, obviously. Things like they were complaining how they had not a lot of time to do screenwrites or scripts, basically. You know, they were doing a great amount of effort for short time of preparation and not a lot of pay. For example, pulling this out of the clouds, it's not necessarily a scenario that I know of, but a screenwriter might get paid $20,000 for their script. The producer would then make a movie that's worth $1 million, but they only get that money, for example. And also, obviously with the script, you have to look it over, check it, double check it, anything you don't want, re-edit, re-script, you know, and that takes time and effort. And these writers were not getting that. And there was also arguments between agreements over who can stream the movies or the series. So I think that's down to giving up your rights, I think, to the copy script or whichever. Also use of AI, which is, for example, they would computerize people's faces or bodies, make more use of them instead of actors. For example, I believe in the TV movie, I think it is, no, movie. I think movie or TV or series on Netflix, Megan. I think the little girl is using AI for some of their moves or facial features. Another example would be iRobot with Will Smith. So yeah, they use robots as well. So that's kind of taking, you know, jobs and screens away from actresses and actors. So yeah, that strike was from July 14th to November 5th of last year, I believe. Again, I'll insert it for you. So this brings me to Jo Koy, because with everything going on in Hollywood and after the strikes and everything, it's like it has even been noted in a few newspaper articles that the Golden Globe Awards needed a revamp. They needed something to start fresh, get a new look on the Golden Globes. You know, let's do it. And despite many people such as Ali Wong, who features in the Netflix series Beef, she is also a Chinese comedian, I believe. Yeah, of Chinese descent. So she would have been the first Chinese host of the Golden Globe Awards. People like Will Arnett, Jason Bateman and Sean Hayes were all asked to do it but refused, obviously, because I think the tensions in Hollywood were not great, and they probably thought, why should we help you? Because end of the day, with all the strikes going on, I'm guessing they were just happy to be back in work. The things about the strikes were it resulted in many actors losing their jobs, claiming benefits or finding other jobs that were not necessarily what they might have wanted. Not demeaning jobs, because no job is demeaning as long as you're earning a living, but jobs that would not have been to their liking because their life is acting. So yeah, they refused the roles, as did Chris Rock, obviously. Comedians such as Amy Poehler and Tina Fey were also asked to host, but they said they'd done it before, and they're not doing it again. The common factor in all these people, all these actresses, comedians, whichever, celebrities, they said that the crowd is too tough to deal with. It is a tough crowd, it is hard to make everybody laugh, and if you don't make a good impression, you lose the crowd, even if you're popular. Again, if you're popular, which brings me back to Jo Koy. Jo Koy is a fantastic comedian. He has also been in the movies Easter Sunday, Anastasia, Once Upon a Time, Haunted Mansion, and Wake, to name a few. Now, even though these are great movies, the only way I can explain it to you is if you are in a TV series or in a band. For example, in a band, you will have 5 or 6 members, but you will always have that one singer who's mainly the centre of attention, therefore they always get the more money. In a TV series, you always get that one actress or actor among the rest of them that are the main highlight. They get the more money. So in a movie, if you don't really necessarily have a leading role, but maybe a 2-second part, for example, Jo Koy, when he had his bartending role in Haunted Mansion, he has a few seconds to say anything and not really a big role at all later on. So he is there, but he's not in the aim of the main spotlight. So therefore, to me, not that I'm demeaning him by any chance or disrespecting him at all, but unlike Easter Sunday, he was the main character, definitely the main character. And mainly because the movie was almost a reflection of how he became into his career. But again, if you have all these movies or series where you're not really recognised, you're just in the back, people don't recognise you, which is not his fault at all, but you know, the slow, steady up the ladder kind of thing to success. He hasn't had the highlight that would have been, how to explain it, the highlight that would have been recognisable to other actors and celebrities in Hollywood, if that makes any sense. A lot of actresses and actors know each other because of all the movies, such as Johnny Depp has been in so many movies, Kate Winslet has been in many movies, Brad Pitt has been in many movies, Angelina Jolie, Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway. These are all people that are well known because they're in so many movies and they're mainly in the highlight. So even though he was asked to do the Golden Globes, he was, you know, I think he was set up to fail because it's like nobody else was doing it. It was 2 weeks prior to the award show, which Jo Koy mentions. Again, I will link it down below. You know, everything he said in his monologue was true. Nobody wanted to do this gig. So when he got it, he had little time to prepare. He spent his time looking at the movies that were nominated just to give his little bit of research, which he didn't have to, but he chose to, out of respect and professionalism. So he actually looked at these movies and did what he could. It even shows a picture of him from his Facebook. Again, I'll insert that, of him with the directors, I'm assuming the writers, the producers, organising a monologue. And even the Golden Globe Awards announced him like first week of January to be the host. Now, I was laughing so much at Jo Koy, his jokes, because I know him. Even things about the crowd being whitewashed and everything, it didn't offend me. Even the Taylor one. Taylor Swift by now should know a joke is a joke, especially from a comedian. You know, they'll throw a few jokes at you and move on. She has had worse things said to her by other people. People have interviewed her, people have written stuff about her saying that she only dates famous people because they're famous. Every time she breaks up, she writes a new song. And it's true. But it's just a joke. And I don't know why she has to be so sour-faced about the jokes that he was saying when he clearly says it was a dig at NFL. And that makes me think, does she really think that much of herself when she's gonna be so offended? And her face is so sour. It's like, is there no respect upon professionals? Can she not just laugh it off? I just really, even yourself, even myself, if someone makes a joke, I'm not too keen on it. I'll just, just get it over and done with. But she's so straight-faced and sour. The whole crowd was straight-faced and sour. And it's like they just didn't give him a chance. A few giggles here and there, but nothing really worth, this, like saying, I hosted the Golden Globe Awards, I told this joke, the crowd was great. Nothing like that. And you can see him getting tensed up, but he still goes for it. He still tries his best. And I really don't blame him for telling them all to shut up. I would as well if that was me. Like, come on guys, give me a break. You know, no one else wanted to do it. I did this for you. No disrespect to him. If he hadn't had the opportunity, it would have been sad. But at the same time, nobody wanted to do this. So they don't really have a right to attack him or, just be straight-faced. And that goes back to other things as well. The Golden Globe Awards itself is very harsh and strict and tensionised, as I like to say it. I really researched some clips from before. There was a clip with Jim Carrey involved, and again I'll insert this if I can. They, for some reason whatever, I don't know the rules of the Golden Globe Awards, but as I understand it, I'm assuming they have a formality, names on the tables where people are supposed to sit, I'm assuming, but this guy was moved with everybody looking at him because the host asked him to move, saying that he was sitting in the movie section and he was supposed to be in the TV section, because the movie section is here, TV section is at the back, if you manage to look. And even though he had done Sonic the Hedgehog, he was only nominated for a TV series called Kidding, or Not Kidding, something like that, Unkidding. So they physically asked him to move, and security actually moves him. Even he thinks it's a joke. But then he really realises he's moving. And I was like, why? The guy had already eaten. What was the issue there? It was just a seat. Everybody was sat down. There was no one looking for their missing place. I thought, wow, really? And the way people attack Joe Coy for his jokes. Again, I've heard worse. I've heard Ricky Gervais, he's an English comedian / TV host. The stuff he says, I'm not comfortable repeating it myself, but again, I will try to invert videos. He is so insulting. takes it too far, really does. And even Ellen DeGeneres, when she hosted one time, she made a joke to Eliza Minnelli, saying that it was the best impersonator of Eliza Minnelli. But called her a man. Again, I'll insert that. And I was like, these are all people that are white making these jokes and people are laughing. But any person of colour or a different background and they get slaughtered. Even Chris Rock and Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart made an effort and created a moment during his hosting to give a round of applause and appreciation moment for all black actresses and actors, celebrities that had worked in the filming industry in movies and TV series, and gave respect to them and thanked them for their hard work and passion. So among the many people who were offended by him, Taylor Swift obviously, Tom Hanks, Johnny Depp, you know, I don't know, Will Smith even, which I do support Will Smith's work, the way he is a family person, but really? However, strangely enough, people that were supporting him and saying that he actually did quite a good job, the producer or writer of Barbie, Greta Thunberg, I think it was, or Greta Gerwig, yeah, even though he made a joke about Barbie being all boobs and whatever. Whoopi Goldberg, Kevin Hart, Chris Rock obviously, Howard Stern, I believe he's a guitarist, even Mr. Martin, our comedian, from Cheaper by the Dozen. You know, all these people were saying, the crowd is tough, it's hard. Jo Koy went in, open ambition. And it's just sad that this is what they did. It's just, like I said, I feel like he was set up to fail because they wanted a revamp, but the crowd was very sour, very sour. And the stuff they said about the crowd is true. And even referencing to movies. I don't know, it's just, like I said, Jo Koy is a great actor. He's an even funny comedian. He's very family oriented, and like I said, consider the stuff that other people have said, white people have said, I'll say it, white people, celebrities, well-known people from other movies, considering the way they have been, he was a saint. He could have said way worse and he didn't. You know, even saying half the monologue that he wrote was his, they were laughing at. So yeah, that's my opinion, my research. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, leave a comment down below what you think, what your thoughts are. Do give it a like for the effort at least. And do subscribe because I do enjoy doing these videos. And the next vlog should be about Safe Haven, the baby box idea. But yeah, until next time, goodbye, God bless.